Hey everyone, as always, Dylan, GoldPayDirtReviews.com, and today is going to be the first of 3 bags of Paydirt from the same seller again this week. And I want to say I'm excited to review this seller, but I'm not. And I'll tell you why in a second, but first let me tell you who this is. This is from JBIadventures on eBay. And if you buy Paydirt, or if you've been buying Paydirt for a while, you might have heard of him. This is Prospector John. He has been around forever, and he's been selling on eBay forever. And he actually used to have a website called ProspectorJohn.com, but he lost the domain. He forgot to renew it, and some hackers put up some malicious code on it, so he just lost it. But the reason I'm not excited is because this is actually the first person's Paydirt I ever bought, and this is actually the same Paydirt I ever first bought. He used to sell this stuff. It's called his, by popular request, unprocessed Alaskan gold-bearing gravel ore by the pound. But it used to not be by the pound. When he first started selling this, he used to just sell a medium-sized priority mailbox, and he'd fill it up with all his rocks and gravel. I mean, you'd find rocks as big as my fist in there. And that was just when he first started selling it was $50. And I probably spent about $500 buying those. I'd get one in a month, and it'd take me all month to pan out. And, you know, we could use the big rocks in our garden and stuff like that. And you'd find all kinds of weird stuff. I found shark teeth in it and stuff, and it was great, and I loved it. It wasn't a lot of gold, but it's what I learned to pan on. So I have, you know, a certain love for this Paydirt, and I've been asked a lot why I don't review him, and the reason is because I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to give him a score, but I'm going to. So, as I said, this is his 2-pound. I bought 2 pounds of it, and the reason I bought 2 pounds of it is because I'm also going to be reviewing some of his Arizona Paydirt. And when I bought that, I actually bought that first, and it came in 2 pounds. It was an auction, and I won it. So I figured, well, I'd compare the two. So I bought 2 pounds of this as well. But you can buy as much as you want. It's $4.95 per pound. So I bought 2 pounds. It was $9.90. The shipping was $7.55 for a grand total of $17.45. Now, as you can see, this has some big rocks. It used to be a lot bigger, but, you know, I'm sure he's probably cut it down now that people are buying by the pound. But it's still got some big-sized rocks in there, so, you know, it really cuts down the amount of chance you have for gold. But I'm going to process this down. Oh, that smells earthy. Where's all my other pans? So let me process this down and just see what kind of, how much of this and what classification. A lot of big rocks. I really don't expect to find any gold in the +10. And, you know, out of all the boxes I bought of them out of this, I never found anything in the over 10. But again, you know, when you're new to panning, you tend to be excited about just finding gold. And that's what I was. And it was just, and, you know, even after I started buying from other sellers and getting really good returns on investments, I still loved his Paydirt just because there was so much of it, and it was, you know, it gave me something to do. So, you know, my budget when I first started panning was pretty low. I mean, it's still low, but it was even lower then. So I'd buy 1 box of his, and that would take me a month to pan out. So, you know, it gave me a month of stuff to do, and this was before I was really reviewing anything, so... You know, then I'd buy 1 bag of somebody else, and then I'd buy another box of his, and this is my work my way around. You know, but Prospector John has been around forever. I mean, I know he still does tours and stuff like that. So, in Alaska, you know. He's a really nice guy. I've talked to him a couple times via email and stuff like that, and he, you know. But like I said, I've kind of been scared to review them because I didn't want to put a score behind this Paydirt because it might ruin my memories, but, you know. And one thing I will say, though, his Paydirt is extremely popular. I mean, if you look at his, on his eBay account, he's got over 10,000 reviews, and almost all of them are for Paydirt. I mean, this guy's been selling forever. And he's so popular, in fact, that it's funny. Once I started reviewing, I guess it was last year, I said, you know, I should buy another one of his boxes of this Paydirt, you know, just for my kids and me to run through. And I guess this was the year before last. It was in 2016, and his prices went up to $75, and I was like, well, I kind of talked myself out of it. I was like, you know, he raised his prices. I was like, eh. And then earlier this year, I looked, and it's $100 now. I'm like, well, I should have bought it at $75. I mean, I should have stockpiled it when it was $50, but I didn't, so must be popular if he's selling it for $100 now. You know, inflation. So, good bit. Oh, mess. So I haven't seen any gold, but, you know, that doesn't really mean anything. You know, there's a lot of, if you've watched my reviews, you'll see a lot of times I don't see any gold, and I get so really surprised. And there's times I've seen some gold, and I'm surprised that that's pretty much all I found, so. All right, so there we go. Looks like the plus 10 and the minus 30 are about equal amounts, and almost the other two classifications are pretty close. You know, so I don't expect, like I said, I don't expect to find any gold in this. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't expect to find gold in anything except for maybe the minus 30 and maybe the minus 20 plus 30. But we're going to find out, because I'm going to go pan this plus 10 out and hopefully find some gold. Well, unfortunately, I found exactly what I thought I was going to find, which was nothing. But the good news is I still have more material to pan through. I still have to go through the minus 10 plus 20. So maybe there'll be a little piece of gold in here, maybe one or two, just to keep my hopes up. But you never know until you find out. So I'm going to go get it done and pan it out. Well, as Gomer Pyle used to say, surprise, surprise, surprise. I found gold. Minus 10 plus 20, 6 little pieces of gold. Really surprising to me. I hope that doesn't mean there's less gold in the other parts, but it was fun. I loved it. It was very, very muddy dirt. So, you know, get used to that. I mean, as you can see, it is very tan colored, so which means it's very powdery. It's gonna be dirty. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go pan this out and see if I can find more gold. Well, unfortunately, I found exactly what I thought I was going to find, which was nothing. But the good news is I still have more material to pan through. I still have to go through the minus 10 plus 20. So maybe there'll be a little piece of gold in here, maybe one or two, just to keep my hopes up. But you never know until you find out. So I'm going to go get it done and pan it out. Found gold, but the numbers are going the wrong way. So found 2 specks this time. Last time was 6. So I found 2 in the minus 20 plus 30. So not sure what that's going to mean for the minus 30 material, but just in case I didn't show you last time, there's really not any magnetized black sands in this. I mean, there's just almost nothing. So So that'll just mean a little bit more work to put into to go through this. So there better be some gold in there. All right, let's continue this and see what I get out of the minus 30. And the numbers keep going down. One little speck. Let's see, it's right at the tip of that. I'm trying to move the camera. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that or not. But that was it. One little flake in the minus 30, not even a flake. So in the end, I got nothing in the plus 10, 6 nice pieces in the minus 10 plus 20, 2 pieces in the minus 20 plus 30, and 1 really tiny piece in the minus 30. So kind of thinking about this one. This one's going to take me a little while to go sit down and think about, because I'm trying to be objective here, and I have some really fond memories of Prospector John's Paydirt, so I'm trying not to make that sway me. So I'm going to go weigh this up, come right back with my final thoughts and the review and the Roy. All right, gold has been dried and weighed and calculated. And I'm disappointed. I'm so disappointed. I ruined my memories for a review. All right, well, let's get right to it. All right, so this is from Prospector John on eBay. His eBay name is JBIadventures, but everyone knows him. If you ever read anything, everyone knows Prospector John. He's been around forever. This is it was 2 pounds of his raw Alaskan Paydirt. It has no gold added. It's just supposed to be dug out of a big hill and given to you. I bought 2 pounds of it, which was $9.90. It's $4.95 a pound. The shipping was $7.55 for a total cost of $17.45. I recovered 0.046 grams of gold. And today's gold spot is $41.05. Which means I made a whopping $1.89 in gold. So the Roy ended up being a 10.83%. The A-Roy ended up being 8.88%. So I'll just get to my review. The Roy, again, 10.83 equals a 1.1 on my system. The A-Roy, 8.88% equals 0.9%. The fun factor is a 6. And it probably would have been a little bit lower, except for the fact that I have such fond memories of going through this Paydirt when I first started. So, I mean, it was a 6, though. I mean, it's not really difficult dirt. And the fact that there's no black sands is kind of, you know, I don't know. The value, which is Roy, A-Roy, and fun factor divided by 3. So the value is a 2.7. My overall experience is a 6. It was low because, one, I didn't find very much gold. And also some of the later stats you'll find out it was just lowered. And then it was just, overall experience was pretty let down at 6. You know, I had such high hopes for this. I knew I wasn't going to find a lot of gold in this Paydirt. But how little I found and how little black sand I found, you know, it was just a bad bag. All right, so for Paydirt description, Prospector John does do a really good job of his descriptions. So that's a 10. The Paydirt quantity, I didn't know when I first started this. I usually weigh these up before a day or two before I do the reviews. And it wasn't even 2 pounds. It was 1 pound, 15 ounces. So he's going to get an 8 for Paydirt quantity because, you know, it wasn't even the 2 pounds stated. Paydirt packaging, Ziploc bag, gets a 6. Customer service, this was another huge letdown for me. It was a 6. It took him a week. When I purchased this, I actually purchased a couple bags, and I'd asked about combined shipping and stuff like that. And it took him a week to reply to me, and he said, you know, you'd combine the shipping and do this and this and that. And so I made some purchases from him, and then nothing happened. And I had to email him, and I got the Paydirt in. The shipping was fantastic, which you'll see in a second. But it took him, you know, I got the Paydirt in, and I still hadn't gotten a refund, because essentially he said, just buy it all, and then I'll refund you what, you know, the actual shipping is. And he said that was his standard practice, was you pay full shipping, and then he just refunds whatever it costs him, the difference. So it took me a week, and he apologized. He said, oh, you're sorry, he missed it or whatnot, and he'd send the refund right away. Well, it took him another 7 days. So in total, it took me 21 days from, you know, order to fulfillment to get my refund. And that is just horrible. I mean, I understand he's in Alaska and all that, and it takes him a while, which I was expecting for the shipment to be late. I was all set to say, because he puts in there that he takes about 5 days on a standard for handling. And I can understand that if you're in the middle of nowhere in Alaska, but not answering emails, you know, that's another thing. So, you know, customer service was a 6. So, shipping, I'm going to give him a 10. You know, even though part of my shipping is, you know, everything about the shipping, including the price, he did eventually refund me, but the shipping was really quick. I believe he actually shipped it out the day after I bought it. So I have no problems with the shipping. It was just the customer service that was bad. So he had a grand total for JBIadventures, 2 pounds of raw Alaskan Paydirt is a 5.6. So I'm pretty devastated with that score, considering how much, you know, how many of these bags of his I went through. Now I will put a little disclaimer in there. I think part of the fun I might have had in the past when I had this was the fact that I was going through so much material. You know, it was a medium-sized bag. I guess it was about 25 pounds of Paydirt, 25 to 30. So it would take me 2 weeks to go through. I was a novice, so I don't even remember if there was a ton of black sands or not. And I remember never finding huge amounts of gold. I mean, I wasn't finding nuggets or anything else like that. So maybe it was just the vast quantity of it, you know, because if you bought from somebody else, you were getting a pound for $60. You'd find a gram of gold. Where with Prospector John, at the time it was $60. You'd pay $60 and you'd get a huge 30 pounds of Paydirt and not much gold in it. So, but, you know, my memories are shattered, but that's it. I appreciate everyone watching. I still have 2 more bags of Prospector Johns to go through this week, so stay tuned for those. Hopefully those are better and I'll get my fond memories back. But hit the comment button. Make sure you hit the like button. Do not hit the dislike button if you just don't like the Paydirt. The like and dislike buttons are only for the review. So thanks a lot. Make sure you share it, subscribe, and everything else. See you tomorrow.